Billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
A poor man prayers,
every man bleeds.
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.
Under the Fair Use Act, these videos are for information and educational purposes, and I do not own the rights to any of these videos that are shown. All rights reserved to the original content creators.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy SL550, and this is the Never Gonna Lose Again podcast. Before we start, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. So, I don't know yet. I've been having trouble with the channel. So, before I went on, I tried to change the settings to 4K, and I guess it was just too much, and so I had to dial it back, which is cool. I ain't worried about all that just yet. We'll get to the 4K and all that later on. But right now I'm just trying to go live, man. I was very frustrated yesterday. I pretty much figured out what it was. Not gonna get into all of that. So before we start, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your boy is on the road to monetization. All because of you. I can't do it without you. So make sure, even if you tap in for 1, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, doesn't matter. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Help your boy out. I really, truly do appreciate it. You don't understand. I love this shit. I've been down for a couple days, trying to figure some things out with this. Also, just personal stuff. But I've been fiending to go live, bro. It's been so much going on, bro. And I was mad because I really had a decent show yesterday. And people was tapping in, bro. I was in for I don't even know, probably 30 seconds. I already had 7 people who already tapping in with me. I'm like, damn, I was really frustrated yesterday. It really was in the way. I'm not gonna lie. But that doesn't even matter, bro. So, hold on. It started going all crazy already. So, we're going to get into that. So, for some reason, it's when I'm playing the videos, for some reason, it's been acting up. I don't know why. That's been the main thing. So, and then once the video start going, then I feel I start glitching and stuff. So, I'm hoping that we tapped in. I ain't even gonna lie, man. So we gonna tap in with Jesse Waters, and he gonna give us the updates on a few things that's going on. Then we're gonna tap in with RJ Talks. He's gonna go over. So yesterday I wanted to play this little clip that he had with Canada. So I guess Canada, I don't know, maybe we got some time. I'll play it. But basically Canada had made this little fake video using Ronald Reagan talking about tariffs, and in the way they cut it up, they try to make it seem like Ronald Reagan, was saying that tariffs was, a bad thing, and trying to make it seem like it was un-American to put tariffs on these fucking loser ass countries. But it's so crazy when it comes to the tariff thing, because it's bro, these countries put tariffs on the United States, and now that the United States is putting tariffs on you, you got a problem with it? Man, fuck out of here. These people are crazy. You know what it is, bro? A lot of these politicians been in bed with these, foreign dictators or whatever, democracies, whatever you want to call them. But leaders of these other countries, they've been in bed with them personally and been giving them these big breaks. And if you go back to the 80s, Trump was saying it back then. So he's basically saying, nah, we're not doing it no more. It's a new America. And y'all better get with the shit, period. And then we going to tap in live with Clarisha, right? I never watched her pod, but she got a pod. But I'm playing it because she had Dave Anderson, the business bully, on there, and he was going in. He was going in on Roland Martin, all of them, all of the black boule niggas that everybody think is the black leaders. And all of this, and all they is just some black boule niggas who get paid and just be talking a bunch of nonsense. People truly think that because they got a degree that they're smarter than you, better than you. And that's how a lot of these Democrat so-called black leaders in like the journalism, podcast, space world thinks about the average black person. Like, bro, just because you got a degree don't make you intelligent. Like, just because you say big words don't make you intelligent. Like, these people really come at a lot of people, bro. Like Anton Daniels. It's a lot of conservative mouthpieces now, and they're upset about it. They mad so many people left the slave plantation, and bro, nobody cares. Nobody cares, bro. You know, they want everybody to just care about what they think. You know, then we're going to end the show and tap in with James Klug. I was going to play this video yesterday, so I'm going to play it today. He had an interview with a guy, and I wanted to play it because it just goes to show you how much these people got Trump derangement syndrome, bro. It's so much shit I want to play. I ain't going to lie, but I ain't going to get into all of it. But, like, bro, people, what it all boils down to is Trump derangement syndrome, bro. The government is shut down right now. And I'm sorry I'm going this rant, but I got to, bro. The government is shut down. There's millions of people who are not getting their SNAP benefits. There are federal workers, people in the government who are not getting paid. Don't know how they're going to pay their bills. Got to call the landlord and say, yo, listen, man, the government shut down. Like, when they come back on, I got you. Like, bro, it's going to be a lot of people without food in the fridge. And they like to say this, oh, the Republicans have the House, the Senate, the presidency. So they're the reason why the government is shut down. But with a lot, see, that sounds good. But if you understood how things work, for instance, certain bills, certain things only need 53 votes. When it only needs 53 votes, it gets passed with no issues because the Republicans do have the majority in the House and the Senate. But what a lot of people don't know, when it comes to certain things like this CR bill, you need 60 votes. And when you need 60 votes, you also need Democrat votes, about 7 of them to be exact. And right now, only 3 Democrats are agreeing to cut the lights on. Everybody else is saying no. So don't be fooled by the game, you know, because it's a game. And they playing with your money, they playing with your with your food, with your livelihood. And it's crazy. There's interviews with Hakeem Jeffries and other Democrat politicians admitting, bro, that this is leverage for them. You not being able to put food in the fridge is leverage for them against Donald Trump. And what's the leverage? What do they want? They want to continue the subsidies for the Obamacare and all of this stuff. But the main thing is to still be able to allow illegal immigrants and able-bodied people to get welfare and other assistance, bro. This shit is crazy, bro. I'm just being honest. But let's get into this video.
Trump said we'd get tired of winning, and it's only been about 10 months, and Democrats are throwing in the towel.
If this is making America great again, we need to stop making America great again because I'm exhausted. Morally and physically and mentally exhausted.
You're not supposed to tell your opponent you're tired. You think Jordan leaned over to the mailman, Game 6 of the NBA Finals, and said, Carl, I'm exhausted. Come on, Joy. We're in the golden age, baby.
Yeah, excited isn't the word. The market should be excited, too. We're seeing interest rates move down and stocks move up.
What do we tell you? Don't be a panicking.
The stock market has been telling us what to believe ever since Liberation Day. The stock market said this is not going to be the end of the world. Like so many, like almost unanimously, business reporters.
Now the guy right here on the top, right? This is NBC, I think. The guy on the top, it's CNBC, and the guy on the top actually interviewed Hakeem Jeffries. And he was coming at Hakeem Jeffries like, come on, bro. Like because these guys like them, they understand. They know the game. They know politics. They understand business. obviously they talking about the stock market. So they understand this shit. And he was even saying like, bro, you're playing this game and you're not going to win. And then you're putting real people's lives on the line, bro. Gotta check these interviews out.
And here we are,
We're going to play some tomorrow,
36%
actually.
since then?
The Dow just closed at an all-time high. What's exhausting about fatter 401ks, peace deals, and beautiful renovations? All this great stuff going on, and the Democrats shut down the government so not everybody can enjoy it.
We know that people are going to suffer if we don't open the government. And we only have just under a week to make sure that this does not happen. And I'm just going to make it as plain as possible. People will go hungry.
The so-called party of the working class is okay with the working class going hungry. Not Trump. He's doing everything he possibly can to make sure people get paid. One of his buddies even cut a check for the troops.
He called us the other day and he said, I'd like to contribute any shortfall you have because of the Democrat shutdown. I'd like to personally contribute any shortfall you have with the military because I love the military and I love the country. And today he sent us a check for $130 million. That's what I call a patriot.
That's something we can all celebrate. I guess billionaires aren't that bad, right, Bernie? But Democrats are calling Trump the military paymaster. They'd rather soldiers' families go hungry than Trump get credit. And yet, they're still hung up on the ballroom.
He thinks that he has the authority to go and destroy, what is essentially a sacred historic site and put up, a palace because he thinks he's a king.
A palace?
Yo,
Trump
bro,
thinks
these
he's a king?
people are so weak, bro.
Obama thought he was a god. Remember he descended from Mount Olympus and spoke like Caesar surrounded by Greek columns? He told us he had the power to lower the world's oceans. His nickname was the Messiah. The media gave him a halo. But Trump builds a ballroom for the country and Democrats are stunned speechless.
Tonight, sources tell ABC News President Trump is aiming to tear down the entire east wing of the...
Yo, bro, these people are clowns. It's all theater. Look at this white bitch. Oh, my gosh. He's doing what? Literally, Barack Obama did the same thing, bro. He added some stuff to the White House. Nobody cared, but he was proud. He was laughing. Oh, it was so great. Obama glazing that nigga. God damn. Yo, bro, it don't matter what Trump do, bro. This nigga. Yo, bro, he could do anything good. These motherfuckers will still find a way to hate this dude, bro. It's so crazy. Like, bro, he's building an addition to the White House. And he's not even using our money. Obama used taxpayers' money. All of the stuff that they're doing and we're going to get into that with Gavin Newsom, bro. They're using taxpayers' money. This dude Gavin Newsom spent so much on a project that he never finished with taxpayer money. Bro, don't let these people fool you. That ballroom's not even paid with taxpayer money. So it's like nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's not affecting Americans. This shutdown is affecting Americans, bro.
The White House.
Yo, these people are crazy.
It's almost like Democrats have never been anywhere near a construction site. Pocahontas and Hot Dog Amy sound like a bunch of hippies.
No, it is actually a demolition zone. That is what it is. Look at that.
Oh,
unbelievable.
Wow. This is a construction zone. Donald Trump can't hear people asking for help because there's all this
the
chaos
machinery. I mean, these are like bulldozers taking down the people's house right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, construction's noisy, ladies.
Yo, if I was a
It's men
Democrat,
at
bro.
work. He's building you a place to...
If I was a Democrat, bro, I would just be ashamed, bro. Like, if I really cared about it that much and I was like, oh, I'm a Democrat, I was proud of it, like, I would be ashamed, bro. These people are, like...
It's an address.
These people are
what
ridiculous.
A gentleman. Obama hosted state dinners in a tent.
Like
Dignitaries from all over the world would come to the White House, and they weren't allowed to go inside the White House. They ate dinner outside on the grass. And you know where they went to the bathroom? in a porta potty. Prime ministers had to use a porta potty. Imagine Merkel in a porta potty. It's disgusting. It also ruined the lawn. You couldn't even use Marine One. The tent was so big. This was long overdue. They're actually suing Trump to stop construction. The only thing that Trump broke is Betty Ford's heart.
The East Wing was home to America's first ladies. Betty Ford, that's her at her desk. She once famously said, if the West Wing is the mind of the nation, then the East Wing is the heart. Well, it has been ripped out.
Trump's not like demolishing the First Lady's office and making them work remotely. It's an upgrade. And the president has decided what he's naming the ballroom. Are you ready? The Donald J. Trump Ballroom. Of course. What did you think? He was going to name the ballroom after the auto pen?
Bad as hell.
You know who else loves the Donald J. Trump Ballroom? Rachel Maddow's boss. Yeah, Comcast, MSNBC's parent company, donated millions to build the ballroom. How embarrassing for MSNBC. I mean, MS Now. They should be called MS Never because they're never right. The president says he's already received $350 million in donations. That's more than the cost.
God damn.
With the money left over, he could build Miller his own VIP room. And the Democrats who complain aren't getting an invite.
President Donald Trump, you go meet him. He's charming as can be.
Charming.
Sits down, talks with you. He says, hey, Joe, what about this? What about that? No, that's, and we talk about a lot of things. And then one time I told him, I said, Mr. President, just call me last. I was the only Democrat he was talking to. Come over, have breakfast, come over to lunch or do whatever, come to a movie. And had a lot of fun.
A Democrat telling you he's charming, we having fun. Like, when people actually be honest, like, people actually like Trump. Even all the people that the Democrats put on stage to talk about Project 2025, like Oprah, like Whoopi. Whoopi has said, I wasn't smiling on the show when he was on. Bro, they all glazed Trump, bro. And they all liked him. Even if they wasn't glazing him, they all fucked with Trump. It wasn't until they realized that, oh shit, he's not a puppet. He's not going along with the bullshit. That's when they started coming at Trump.
They hate it. He's literally having a ball. Republican presidents aren't supposed to enjoy their presidencies. They're supposed to be under siege and hounded out of town like scoundrels and constantly having to flip-flop and apologize and fire staff. Not Trump. He's making peace, building big, beautiful things, and tossing sombreros on their heads. Republican presidents aren't supposed to celebrate beauty and architecture. That's Democrats' turf. And Trump's being serenaded by Andrea Bocelli while he designs historic monuments. They're jealous. Let's face it, Democrats will never be able to tear it down. The next Democrat president, what are they going to do? They're going to treat it like their city, spray paint it, let a bunch of homeless junkies in. New rule. No one's invited to the ballroom if you called us Nazis.
Stephen Miller is a white supremacist. I mean, he is. And even though he's Jewish, he's like a Nazi Jew.
Well, look, I can't speak to what Stephen Miller's motivations are. I've met him. I've talked to him. I've interviewed him.
How tall is he?
Yeah, we're dying to know. Oh, God, I can't remember that.
Short?
Miller's a short Nazi Jew? Really?
God.
He's 5'10".
How tall is he? Or tight? No. Why? Because you want to suck his cock?
What about the guy running for
whore.
Senate with Nazi tattoos? Graham Plattner. The so-called nipple Nazi didn't just cover up his Nazi tattoo with a little wolf. He said blacks don't tip, called cops bastards, rural America racist and stupid, called himself a communist, and now we find out he called the military gay. The Democrats will probably say he meant like gay isn't happy. Another Democrat running, Jay Jones, fantasized about shooting Republican kids. JB doesn't care. He just cut the guy a check.
He's apologized about that. People make mistakes. They do.
So he shouldn't drop out.
It's one thing if someone's doing it repeatedly, right? If you're making comments repeatedly that are, like that no doubt that was an offensive thing to write.
You've donated $20,000 to Jay Jones' campaign.
Making a mistake is like shrinking your wife's sweater in the dryer. Saying you want to kill children is not like, oops. This is who they're backing, so-called nipple Nazis and bloodthirsty fanatics. What's next? They're going to nominate Antifa?
I think a lot of Democrats believe like I do, but they've gone so far to the left, they can't retreat. And if they don't get out of their way, they're going to go down in defeat.
Bernie's backing the so-called nipple Nazi
That's a fact.
and Kami Mandami. Bernie's the new power broker, and the establishment's caving. All summer, Hakeem's been under pressure to endorse Sauron the Destroyer here in New York, and he's tried to play it cute.
I have not refused to endorse. I've refused to articulate my position, and I will momentarily at some point in advance of early voting.
What a politician.
This
I
nigga's
haven't
a
refused
clown,
to
bro.
endorse. I've refused to articulate my position. And I won't do it now, I'll do it later. No wonder no one takes this guy seriously. Burn Dog must not have liked that answer because an hour later, Hakeem announced he was throwing his weight behind Kami Mandami. What changed? Bernie's been talking up a third party.
Do you think the current Democratic Party is worth saving?
I think the idea, what is in a name? You can have a great Democratic Party, you can have a terrible Democratic Party, you can have a great this or that. I think the idea, your question is, should we today abandon the Democratic Party, start building a third party? It's a fair question. I think it is enormously difficult to do.
Bernie's calling the shots. Schumer's on the ropes. Hakeem was forced to endorse a communist, and Nancy's got a crap hit. And
these dudes
on the
old
brink
as
of
shit,
retirement.
bro. They gotta
Burn
go.
Dog has his eyes on AOC for 28. And the Democratic establishment did Biden so dirty, now the big guy's in bed with Bernie. His girl Binder is out there saying we need commies and so-called nipple Nazis to get out and fight, fight, fight.
Millions of Americans feel the way that I do when it comes to the Democratic Party just not meeting the moment. We want them to fight. We want them to show teeth. We don't want canned responses. We want an opposition party.
Is she looking at her binder during that interview? Think about it. Bernie and Biden both got screwed by the brass. They rigged the primaries against Bernie and stole 14 million primary votes from Joe. Schumer, Pelosi, Barack, the Clintons. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. The Biden family thinks the coup gave America Trump 2.0, and they're laying all the blame on these usual suspects. Binder's out there saying Sleepy's wide awake.
Do you think that he is capable right now of being president?
I did not see anything that concerned me when he decided.
Oh my God, bro. Yo, bro. What? Bro, she was actually in rooms with this dude. We saw him on TV. And we even knew that Joe Biden had dementia. He had something. Yo, these people are fucking crooks, bro. I can't even listen to it no more. On to the next. Bro, straight clown world. I didn't see anything. What shout you mean? What shout you mean? Crazy. Good thing we got Caroline Levitt, dog, because that lady right there, they just be lying, bro. It's crazy how much they just lie. They lie so much that it's just like, it's regular shit for them. They like, lying is like standard for these people. God damn. Anyway, man, let's get into this next joint with RJ Talks.
25th, Gavin Newsom in a tailspin after learning his plan for amending his state's constitution for forcing his Proposition 50 on California could be in jeopardy, or at least winning the Prop 50 special election next week may be in jeopardy. We'll show you why. Also, MSNBC crossing the line.
So the Prop 50 thing is, let me look it up just to give you some facts. But I know it has something to do with the gerrymandering, and, you know, they worried about Trump and the Republican Party basically trying to gerrymandering. And it's going to help the Republicans get like 19 more seats or something like that. But I forget exactly what it does, but it's got something to do with that. Let me see. So, California Proposition 50, also known as Election Rigging Response Act. Election rigging. These people. Is a ballot measure in a special election on November 4th, 2025 that would temporarily alter the state's congressional district maps. If approved by voters, this legislative constitution amendment would be in effect from 2026 to 2030. That's what I tell y'all, bro. It's all about power, bro. It's all it's about. These people want to stay in power so they can rob you. How dare you vote in a president that actually gives a fuck about you and doesn't want to steal your money because he has his own? How dare you be smart? How dare you not let us rob you for another 50 years? You mother, that's what they saying. I'm telling you. It's a fact.
Again, just like they did in the hours after Charlie Kirk's assassination, there's been this coordinated ramping up of rhetoric on that network. What's happening here? We'll show you, and more stories as well from around the country, including a deep dive on Graham Plattner, the likely next Dem senator from Maine. If you thought Zohran Mamdani was bad, you've seen nothing yet.
So today, the Trump administration announced they're sending election monitors to 5 specific counties here in the state of California. They have no business doing that. They have no basis to do that.
So in 9 more days,
yo, hold on though, Bigo, keep it real, bro. Don't the dude Gavin Newsom really look like a crook though? Like he looks like the crook from the movie, the politician that's like in like with the mafia and he doing some crooked shit. Like come on. Is it like he's like your typical he's like you, like it's other people like, you know, Bernie, maybe even like AOC. They actually look like they might, you know, like their job and they actually care. That nigga looks like a crook. Like he loves stealing shit. Like I guarantee you he got millions. And I mean, from what I heard, I mean, I don't know though, because he got that look. But I heard that he's one of the few politicians that may have had his own, like, you know, businesses or some shit like that. I don't know.
Californians will be going to the polls November 4th. Californians will vote to determine if you, the voter, authorizes your governor, Gavin Newsom, the ability to politically gerrymander its congressional districts, meaning the small sliver of Republican representation that's left in California will soon go away if Newsom gets what he wants to be able to redraw these congressional district lines. What he wants to do is add 5 more Democrats in Congress, something that is currently against the law. Political or partisan gerrymandering is outlawed in the state of California. It's in the state's constitution, forbidding Newsom to do this. So he's forced to call a special election and let Californians vote to amend their constitution, decide if they want partisan gerrymandering. Who in the world wants partisan gerrymandering? It's honestly pretty remarkable. Newsom wants to reverse the only good thing about California politics. And why does he want to do this? Because Republicans currently control 220 seats in the House. Democrats control 213. If you vote yes next week, this will all but guarantee Democrats 5 more seats, cutting the Republican majority to just 2 seats. Now, what's super bizarre about this is that in 2008, California voters already voted on this. They outlawed partisan gerrymandering, overwhelmingly disapproved of it, banned it, passing Prop 11 outlawing this practice, partisan gerrymandering. So why then is Newsom so confident about next week's vote, so sure he's going to win next week? It's a bit odd. The only thing that's really changed is the influx of millions of illegal aliens into his state. Millions of people who are currently at risk of being deported by the Trump administration. Is Newsom betting on some of these people voting next week? That would be illegal. They can't do that. Only American citizens are eligible to vote. This is a statewide special election on a constitutional amendment, an amendment that affects congressional redistricting.
They gonna have all illegals there. It's gonna be all illegals there. Best believe, listen, bro. If this does happen, it wasn't done right. Guaranteed. He had illegals there. People were getting paid to be there. Bro, see, this the thing. Even like right now is crucial timing because for a lot of this shit. And this is why you got like everything that's going on and everything that like this Prop 50 shit, it's all strategic shit. These people are, even though they say and do a lot of dumb shit, these people aren't dumb. They know the game. The problem is that Trump fucked their game up. You know what I mean? He came in and took their basketball and threw it over the fence. You know what I mean? He said, "This is my shit," and they can't counter nothing because he's already 10 steps ahead of them, and this is a problem for them. So anything that they do at this point is pretty much going to be like some type of rigged situation because that's the only thing they know how to do is try to rig shit. And right now, that's what they're doing. They're preying on people's desperation. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they're gonna do. Next week with this, they're gonna prey on people. You know, they're gonna lie, they're gonna cheat, they're gonna say whatever they gotta say to get you to put your vote on this piece of paper because that's all they care about, bro. Is your vote, bro. And we're gonna get into that. I cannot wait to get into this next clip with Dave Anderson, the business bully dog. Like he really be talking.
A serious vote, a vote that carries serious repercussions, which is why only U.S. citizens who are California residents and over the age of 18 are legally allowed to participate. Non-citizens are explicitly barred from registering or voting in next week's election. And just to make sure that that's the case, the Trump administration's Department of Justice announcing yesterday that it will be deploying federal election monitors to polling sites next week for this special election.
The U.S. Department of Justice says it will monitor the November 4th election in 5 California counties, 3 of them in Southern California, including.
That's why. So that explains why. That explains why Gavin Newsom said, "Oh, Trump said he's coming here and he's going to monitor this and that. He doesn't have to do it. Why is he doing it? He's doing it because y'all cheat. Y'all cheat in everything that y'all do." So he has to make sure everything is ran smoothly. So that's smart on his part. But yeah, that explains that because they mad as hell. Oh shit, he coming. Trump coming. He got eyes on us.
Including Los Angeles, Orange, and Riverside counties. This comes after the California Republican Party said it had received reports of, quote, irregularities in recent elections.
5 California counties will get official federal oversight monitoring. Fresno, Kern, Los Angeles County, Orange County, and Riverside counties. Gavin Newsom losing his mind over this, claiming it's voter intimidation. You can't do this.
No voter intimidation. You just mad because you ain't going to be able to have no illegal immigrants coming through, sliding they little vote.
And federal interference in our election.
Yo, listen, bro. I want to finish up with his joint, but I wanted to, you know what? Let me finish this, man.
I wonder why Newsom's so nervous suddenly. Watch.
So today, the Trump administration announced they're sending election monitors to 5 specific counties here in the state of California. They have no business doing that. They have no basis to do that. In fact, we have a statewide election for a statewide constitution. This is about voter intimidation. This is about voter suppression, period, full stop. And it's a pattern, isn't it? It's consistent with what they've done with the federalization of the National Guard and the intimidation and the chill that's created. They'll do that right around Election Day as well. Same thing with ICE and Border Patrol, masked men. Watch that space, showing up in and around polling booths and voting places. But this is a bridge too far. And I hope people understand it's a bridge that they're trying to build, the scaffolding for all across this country in next November's election. They do not believe in fair and free elections. Our republic, our democracy is on the line. We all need to wake up.
Oh my God. I'm going to stop it with there, man. Shout out to RJ Talks, man. Make sure y'all go tap in with his channel, man. Yo, bro. Remember I keep saying it, bro. Projection is real. And this is why I say, bro, Trump is 10 steps ahead of these people, bro. They can't win, and they won't win. And what people need to understand is you need to wake up, bro. Yo, I realized something the other day talking to my man Dave Money. Shout out to him, man. He actually did so he started a new channel, and his channel dope, man. It's like a how-to mixed with, like, he kind of giving you some game and some insight on things that you should be thinking about, just in general. And he used me as a person who, like, he didn't know all the details and things I've been through, but he know a little bit. But he used me because I'm a guy that been to prison. I'm a recovering addict with Percocets and all that shit. Like, been through a lot of stuff. And now I'm like, doing my little thing, podcasting and stuff like that. So he used me on one of his segments or whatever. But I was talking to him, and he made me realize, like, yo, what you doing, bro, is dope. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, yo, I really like doing this. I really like talking about really anything surrounding culture, history, politics. Like, for me, like, I got into this because, like, yo, nobody knows what's going on. Like, the average person just is like, that like, right now, the government shut down. People genuinely don't know what's going on with it. Like, at all. They have no details. All they know is what they see other people posting on TikTok and Facebook and shit like that. And, like, bro, it's really important that we start waking up, bro, and being more educated, bro. Nobody is saying that you got to be a genius. You got to do 8 years in college. None of that, bro. You just got to be in tune, bro, on what's going on, bro. Like, you don't have to be a political rat, nothing. Like, nobody say you got to wake up and listen to news no, but you got to know what's going on, bro. We got to start being more educated, bro, especially as black people. You know what I mean? Like, and this is why we failing so much, because we so uneducated and we really don't know. And that's why every time I talk to one of my cousins, and shit like that, they just saying some dumb shit to me. And I don't even I laugh because they don't know. They really don't know. And they tell me they give me their little dumb thing that they want to tell me, and I kill their whole shit, pull up the facts, and they like, oh, all right, well, I'm happy you told me that, because, like, just stop believing everything you hear, bro. I told you that already. But yeah, man, this is crazy, man. But let's get into this next one. This joint is entertaining. Hold on. Why is this up? Hold on. Man. All right, I'm messed up somewhere. Thought I pulled it up. Hold on. So what the hell is pulled up on? Hold on. Oh shit. I just put on the wrong one. Give me 1 second. Yo, this dude, Dave Anderson, bro. He starts going in. And, like, honestly, when you start becoming a little knowledgeable on things, even with the culture, bro, even if you're not into the politics thing, at least know what's going on within the culture as far as politics go. And just as far as, like, all of the stuff that people like Al Sharpton and Roland Martin, how they're using, black people like Trayvon Martin, George Floyd as political tools, right? They don't care about them people. They genuinely do not care whatsoever, bro. And this is why every time a situation like that happens, like a George Floyd moment, right? This is why you'll see the same people, the attorney Crump, you'll see Al Sharpton, Roland, you'll see the same people every time, right there next to the family, talking they shit, talking about how America is racist, and this was another case of white on black crime, a white man shooting a black man. Bro. Straight garbage, bro. Straight garbage. But he going to go into a lot of stuff. He gonna go into a lot of stuff. This joint right here is actually really dope. Let's get into it. Hold on, let me move this. Yeah, I messed the order up. Whatever. Anyway, let's get into this joint, man.
College professor.
Yes, ma'am.
Published author.
Yes, ma'am.
23 books published.
Correct.
Media tyrant, media titan, and you scale businesses into millionaire status.
Thanks.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's an.
So this is a black man who is getting to a bag. This is a black man who got shit going on, right? 23 books, help people scale businesses, got his own businesses. He got shit going on.
So before
I'm just getting introduced to him myself, but I'm definitely about to tap in and see what this guy is really about. But I ran across this, and
we get into nitty gritty, I wanted to touch on the Charlie Kirk situation. Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Okay, what's your thoughts on that? Do you feel like people are out of touch with empathy since his shooting, or?
Listen, man, here's the bottom line. When it comes to somebody like Charlie Kirk, everybody is the bad guy in somebody's story. And sometimes people don't understand in this charged environment, if you say something somebody don't like, they're going to try and pop you. That man didn't deserve to lose his life. And what people don't understand, when white people catch a cold, black people get full-blown AIDS. And so we got to be real careful as to how we talk about and acknowledge what happened, because there are people like celebrating, and then next thing you know, they're losing their job. Then they crying on the same TikTok talking about, I can't believe I got fired because I made fun of Charlie Kirk. You made fun of a man who got shot down in front of his wife and children.
Right.
Yeah. Like, so at some point you got to understand, when somebody and I know I've been black a long time, don't plan on switching up.
You said you've been black a long time.
I've been black a long time, 48 years of blackness.
All my life.
We'll keep it up. I know plenty of people who got shot and gunned down, and I would feel some type of way, if people was cheering and applauding for that. We've all lost someone, and so, God bless him. I didn't agree with a lot of his rhetoric, but I will defend his right to say it, because, again, you start messing with white people's rights, our rights ain't got a chance.
And Dave Anderson, y'all. I told y'all he was opinionated. Now take us back home. What was home life like for you? How did you get so articulate, so smart, so successful?
My dad was a cop. My mom was a teacher. My grandmother was a teacher. I had an uncle who was a teacher. I spent a lot of time in books. And then, shoot, man, I grew up with a speech impediment for a real long time, and then I had to go through speech therapy, so that meant I spent a lot of time reading. Yeah, I speak publicly. I had a speech impediment, and I have dyslexia and dyscalculia.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I would have never known any of that.
You're not supposed to. I'm not walking around here like a victim.
Right. I love that.
So it comes down to just spending time researching, and in my house, the way I grew up, even with my
I'm not walking around like a victim. Nigga done been through some shit, then had some shit going on. You know what I mean? But he ain't have a victim mindset, bro. This is a lot of people. I could say I used to have a victim mindset. But it's crazy because it wasn't like how can I say, like, it wasn't a thing that was on purpose. Like, we was taught to have a victim mindset. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing about a lot of this stuff, is that you don't even know you're doing half of the things you're doing, because you don't even take the time to learn and to listen to people such as, Dave Anderson, and even go back and listen to Malcolm X's speeches, even Martin Luther King, even though I disagree with some of the things, he stood on, but he still was great. There's a lot of greats who, warned us on how we should be, how we should think, who not to listen to, who to listen to, and we just really didn't listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Because we was brainwashed to have a victim mindset when you coming from where we come from.
grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, everybody, you could have an opinion, but you better be ready to back it up. You couldn't just say whatever you wanted to say without having some evidence, some knowledge of what was happening. And so, the other part of that is I was raised to play for my last name. When you look at anybody's jersey who's a professional athlete, they have their last name on their back. And your name was supposed to mean something. So I wasn't going to go out here and dishonor my grandfather's name, my father's name, my mother's name by just not living up to my full potential. So
Let's talk about the Black Agenda.
the real Black Agenda.
The book. He has a book out called The Black Agenda.
The real Black Agenda.
The real Black Agenda.
So what
internal or external movement led you to realize
bro,
that?
I love this shit. I love this shit, bro, because words are so powerful. He understands this. This is why he is being strategic on what he's saying. He's saying, no, the real Black Agenda. Because there's a lot of people pushing this Black Agenda that isn't it's not beneficial to us. You know what I'm saying? It's not beneficial to us, but they portray it as if it is, and it's not. And that's really detrimental to us, and that's why he's saying the real Black Agenda. So that was fire. I like that.
A different conversation was needed.
Because you got a bunch of Yowza Boss, Shade Tree house coons either on television, in the pulpit, or being elected, sitting up here promising you things and never delivering on them. Like, for the past 60 years, Black people have not been flourishing the way we should, even though we love hollering out hashtag Black excellence. We love talking about our accomplishments. Somebody graduates, that's great, but we're number one in student loan debt. Right? Our wealth has dropped 60% over the past 10, 15 years. And so at some point, we got to realize that everybody is eating off us. We love talking about for the culture and how the culture is this, the culture is that. But white people own the culture. It's our culture, but they're monetizing it. And so at some point, you got to realize everywhere else you go, like when I was in radio, I lived in 34 cities in 19 states, and I saw the same thing everywhere. There was a Chinatown, there was a Little Italy, there was a Koreatown, but I didn't see Brothertown or Black Girl Magicville. But I did see the hood everywhere I went.
Right.
That's by design. And so in order to fix that, we got to start shutting down our wagons, stop trying to take everybody's cause, stop fighting for illegal immigrants, fighting for this cause, fighting for that cause, while everybody else walks on our back and get benefits we ain't got yet.
Talk about it. Now, with the Black Agenda, did you
the real Black Agenda?
The real Black Agenda. Did you struggle with finding a balance between, being brutally honest and not being offensive in your book?
If Black people can't take brutal honesty at this point, then I feel sorry for you. You're not my audience.
Exactly.
Like, at some point, we got to stop coddling people. Like, we the only group of people that sits up here and tries to make all these arrangements for our trash.
So,
never should have ate it.
What?
Big as hell.
So
took your times, y'all.
What's your thoughts about him? How do you feel about him?
The same way I feel about most of these mega preachers. What good are they?
Exactly.
All they do is Yowza Boss. And again,
what my do you? God. Yo, real quick, side note, sidebar. Yo, bro, these mega preachers is out of fucking control, bruh. They gotta be stopped. It should be against the law for the shit that they doing. Bro, my wife sent me a clip of a woman paying tithes. She gave this man $1,200. $1,200. It's a lot of us that can use that $1,200. You heard? She gave him Bosky, mozzarella, fettuccine. For the church, for the cause, for Jesus. This nigga said, this ain't what I told you to give me. Yo, you can't make this shit up. He said, I said 1,000 and put another 1,000 on top. These ungrateful ass pieces of shit. I ain't being nice on YouTube. All that, and I'm sorry, I should be, and I need to get it together. But yo, bro, these people are no good, bro. These are the devils, the true devils. using the word of God, using the scripture, using what, people's faith, religion, belief system, praying on them, talking about how Jesus is going to bless them if you bless the church. Out of control, bruh. Out of control, bruh. Yo, my guy my boy there. What up, Dave Money? There, I just clicked over and seen the chat. What's up with you? Real shit. I'm learning by listening to you. Honestly, I lost my interest in politics a long time ago. We need voices like yours to bridge the gap. Facts. I love it. I love it. Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. I know I got off on a little side note. Excuse me, but yo, it's so crazy. And this pastor guy wasn't the first one I saw. I seen plenty of them. Plenty of black people dressed in shiny suits out here taking advantage of black poor people who, might just be uneducated. I'm not even going to say they ignorant. They just uneducated. And brainwashed program, however you want to put it. However, you can't slide $1,200. That's somebody rent. That's 2 car notes. You know what I mean? That's about 4 or 5 light bills. He talking about this ain't what I asked you. I would have slapped him. Right there in the church. Right there in the church. Anyway, let's get back to it.
You have to show. The Bible says you will know the tree by the fruit that it bears. What fruit have they bear?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, did Jamal Bryant say, I'm going to take the land because I want the brothers that smell like weed? Did he start the dispensary yet? Did we get the new birth dispensary?
No.
That hasn't happened. But you got time to be on CNN, and then you got to try and blackmail Target for $250 million just so that you can wear your mama's brooch and, talk about things that really don't affect us, because DEI only helps white women. It doesn't really help us. 4% of all DEI jobs go to black people, but nearly 60% of the DEI firings go to black people. But good job, Jamal. Keep collecting in buckets.
Keep good job, Jamal. So was there a particular event, like a personal situation that you went through that inspired?
So she's being a good host, right? But you could tell there's glimpses of her feeling a way about certain things he's saying.
To write the black agenda?
The real black agenda.
The real black agenda.
It was the fact that I have a YouTube channel called I Never Knew TV, and we have different black voices throughout the diaspora, so here on the continent, in the Caribbean. And when I launched the Ask Dave Anderson series, I would pose these problems and things that I saw happening in the community, and everybody in the comment want to be a thumb thug, talking about, well, what's the solution? I hear you talking about the problems, but what's the solution? I need a solution. So I spent 30,000 plus words giving y'all a solution, so now you ain't got no excuse. You don't want to listen to Killer Mike. You don't want to listen to David Banner. You didn't want to listen to Dr. Claude Anderson. You didn't want to listen to Ice Cube. You didn't want to listen to Farrakhan. So hopefully, me putting this out will allow somebody to start taking some action.
Do you feel like the black community is ready to read the truths in the real black agenda?
Whether they're ready or not, here it is.
Was there any part of the book that you hesitated to write because you didn't want to be offensive?
It's not even about being offensive. I hesitated to talk about the fact that we're in bed with the Democratic Party and we ain't got nothing for it.
Here we go. Now, look, you heard somebody in the crowd say, speak. Because, look, bro, listen, bro, I told you. Yo, this is the first time, right, in my lifetime, right, nobody cares about politics, bro. Well, let me rephrase that. Nobody cared about politics, bro, until 2024, bro. This was the first time, I was talking about politics to cousins, friends, people. We never talked about politics, especially where I'm from, bro. Talking about people you would never expect talking about politics. Because I said, listen, the reason why people started talking about politics is because they finances. Gas, crazy. Groceries crazy, bills crazy. It's hard to live, and it started making people just look for yo, why is this happening? And then you realize that, yo, these politicians, these so-called representatives, right, are selling us up a river. And this is why I respect this guy, because he's giving you names of people that other black people, like, I forget, N.G.L.A. She's one of them. The Jasmine Crockett's, the Charlemagne the guys. These are people that we respect in their industries, right? D.L. Hughley. You was good on the TV when you was doing your little comedy and this and that and the third. But this right here, come on, bro. You sell it. They call people sellouts and coons, but that's who they truly are. And my thing is, some of them know. They know. Like, I believe people like Al Sharpton for sure. He knows he's selling you out. He knows for a fact. But there's people like maybe Charlemagne the God, maybe even the D.L. Hughley, who might not even know. He may just really be so dedicated to the Democratic Party because he believes that affirmative action and the Civil Rights Act and the Welfare Act was all things that benefited the black community when they weren't. These were all things that were detrimental to the black community. Hardcore facts. There's nothing to talk about. These things hurt the black community. And that's why I don't respect people like Charlemagne the God and Roland Martin and Bakari Sellers, N.G.L.A. These are all people who just want to sell you out. They're black boule. These are people who went to college, got an education, and now they think they're better than you. And they think that they're smarter than you. They use these big words and they think that, they're above you. And if you don't believe what they believe in, then you're dumb. You're stupid. You're ignorant. Crazy.
Only time you ever see these folks is when they come to New Birth because it's their birthday, or they want to stand around and dance with pudgy ass Roland Martin and do some horrible ass dance. You never see them do anything effectively in the black community. The same people who you say are racist are not the only racist. Yep. Joe Biden was mentored by Strom Thurmond, racist. He was mentored by Robert Byrd and eulogized him. Robert Byrd was a Klansman. But he reformed because that type of deep-seated racism over 100 some odd years just magically goes away. He said that he didn't want people growing up in a racial jungle. And so when you tell black people anything bad about Democrats, they're like, oh, Lord, no, you best not say nothing about Bill Clinton. You best not say nothing about Master Biden. And Lord, don't come for Barack. Right. And it's just like, okay. When Trayvon Martin died, what did Barack do? He could have been my son. And then he walked his ass right back in the White House.
So I guess the question that I have for you is, because listen, I'm on the same page. How do we get the black community to wake up and kind of wean away from the Democrat community? I feel like it's coming in small numbers, but for the most part, and my own family members, my older family members, they really was like feeling some type of way when I told them that I didn't want to vote Democrat. Like, it's like, they feel like our older black family members feel like just because we're black, we have to vote Democrat. Like, we have to.
So the same baby boomers in the first half of Gen Xers that got us in this mess are now talking about they're upset. You gave us this world. You let them run wild. You let them run ragged, do whatever they want. You didn't ask for anything. We live in a country that is not a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic. The founding fathers never wanted any type of democracy, because for those of you who spent no time in third grade civics, democracy means the majority rules. The founding fathers didn't want that. They wanted to keep their landmass slave owning game going.
So you got, like, I'm so happy he said that, because this is why I say words are so important, because they play on these words and they play on people's heartstrings with racism. And that's why, like, my thing is this, it's simple. You literally seen congressmen and women literally fighting with ICE agents and other agents to get into the federal ICE facility to make sure that these illegal immigrants are being fed and they're being housed properly. Name one time, bro, just once, that you could recall where you seen them do that for all of the prisons across the nation filled with black bodies? You won't. You won't. Then on top of that, when it comes to just, black on black crime, why isn't Roland Martin, Charlemagne the God, whenever they bring this stuff up, they'll be like, oh, I got to keep it honest. It's crazy in Chicago, and it's, but they move right on, like it's as if, what we're doing to ourselves isn't the worst thing that's going on right now. Like, or at least one of them, bro. They don't care. That's the thing. Why do you, he made a good point. He said, why do you think that they literally they literally brought illegal immigrants by the droves, millions of them here, because they don't respect black people no more. They already got you. They don't need you anymore. You in the bag. We got you. We don't need to make promises to you no more. You know what I mean? Like, yo, bro, people got to wake up.
And so if you understand that this is not about a democracy, you got more control over who's WWE champion than you do who's president. So at some point, you got to understand all the boomers need to go. Go sit down, hang it up. You ruined us. Now we got to fix this mess. Here's the thing. Gay people. I didn't say nothing yet. Gay people have representatives on both sides of the aisle. If you think I'm lying, explain Bruce. I'm sorry, Caitlyn Jenner. Hispanics have people on both sides of the aisle. Who's the Chinese American leader? You don't know who they are. You want to know why? They too busy running Chinatown, and it doesn't matter how many conglomerates I put up. It doesn't matter how many businesses I acquire. I can't buy an inch of land in Chinatown, but yet and still you got Chinese people giving you chicken wings covered in MSG. You got Korean people doing your nails, putting gel in it. You realize gel manicures just got banned in the UK? You got Indians and Ethiopian people giving you Dunkin' Donuts. They tell you there's no money in the hood, but McDonald's don't build nothing that is not a profit center. So why are there so many McDonald's in the hood? They convinced you that the hood was the problem.
This nigga cooking, bro. This nigga cooking. Yo, and these Indian niggas own all the Popeyes. They own the Popeyes now. Yo, bro, this nigga cooking, bro. Shh. Yo, listen, I want to say something real quick. You know when people are going to wake up, bro? When, I wouldn't, some of them you could consider they can be leaders, right? In the rap industry, Hollywood, all of these different, stars, celebrities. If everybody actually came together and really made these politicians actually stand on what they say, right? And then we also make education cool, popular. Like, that's hood, nigga. Getting an education is hood, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, getting, making all of these things that are just negative where we come from, which is normal. Negative, where we from, is called normal. You know what I'm saying? So we got to switch that narrative. But the only way that's going to happen is if the people that people look up to or look to for some type of advice or leadership have to all come together and say, yo, look, this ain't the wave no more. Like, that's one thing about our culture, bro. Like, we make shit cool. We made Timberlands cool. We made Iceberg cool. We made Coogee cool. We made Avex jackets cool. We made wearing just white tees and blue jeans cool. We made everything in America cool, bro. To the point where people overseas, want to be like us. You know what I mean? So it's nothing for us to make, education cool, learning about credit cool, eating well, cool, being healthy, cool, stop getting high, cool, stop going to jail, make that cool. You know what I mean? Celebrate going to graduating rather than coming home from prison. Let's make that cool. That's the only way things will change, is if we make the narrative change. Like, you notice that, bro, it's funny that Democrats promote a father not in the household, but yet they married. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that crazy? You don't think that like that's crazy? That in order for you to get this handout that we trying to give you, you can't have no man in the household. Why is that? Right? Even if you take it down to the smallest denominator, you gotta ask yourself why. What does it matter to you whether I got a man in the house? Because they understand. They're not dumb. They did the studies. Like they know having a man, having a marriage, you know what I mean? Having a nuclear family, what that does for a child. They understand. Bro. Like he said, man, it's all by design, bro.
Problem, but the problem is the hood has not woken up to what's really happening. And so I don't really give a rat's ass. If you go independent and you say, give me something for my vote, are you dating? Are you messing with somebody right now? Have you seen somebody recently?
Who, me?
You. I'm talking to you.
You mean like am I married?
No, I know you're not married, but I mean, are you seeing somebody? Have you seen somebody before?
I'm not married.
Have you been on a date before?
Yes.
Okay. Did you just say, you know what, skip the date, we just gonna go home? No, you want to make sure that this person is invested in you, cares about you, you want to know how they act. But you're treating your political future and your community's future like a one-night stand and you too horny to do anything about it. And what do? They come along and they fuck you. Excuse my language, but that's the only way I can say it.
You mean the Democratic Party, they come along?
The Democratic Party knows that y'all not going nowhere. That's why they were so big on these illegals, because they want to get a second voter base that's going to be loyal to them.
So how do you think the world would have turned out right now in present day where we are now, where everything that happened had Kamala Harris made it into office instead of Donald Trump?
I mean, they tried their best to install her. It would have still been a shit show. Period, point blank. Here's the thing. Forget how you feel about the former vice president. Forget whether or not she's black or Jamaican, even though I have never heard her finish the sentence, boom, bye, bye, in a body boy, it. She don't know that. She graduated in 1986, but swore she listened to Tribe Called Quest and Snoop Dogg when she was in college.
Bro.
All of that aside,
they'll do
nobody
anything.
Voted for her in a primary. She went on The View, which is friendly to everything Democratic and everything female, and they gave her a low IQ question, which was, if you could do anything different than what Joe Biden has done so far, what would you change? I wouldn't change anything. Joe, we did it, Joe. What did she do? What did she do?
Hey.
At 29 Sky Entertainment,
Oh,
they
my
are
God.
introduced.
Yo, she right on time though, man, because I was going, listen, I'm going to put the link to that full video. I'm going to put that link to that full video in the description. Shout out to Live with Clarisha. She had, like I said, Dave Anderson, the business bully on there. He was talking facts, man. And that's the thing, bro. People, in our community, it's just like, it's actually sad. And what he said about the baby boomers was correct, because everybody that I talk from that, generation, they're stuck. Ain't nothing you gonna tell them. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Through and through, they Democrat. It don't matter. And it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Like, we don't be knowing nothing, bro. Even as simple as stuff like, I had a conversation, and I might have said this before, but I had a conversation about in the border thing, right? This is when the whole border situation was a big deal, and they was talking about, Donald Trump. Everything is Donald Trump's fault. You know what I mean? Like, Donald Trump blocked the bill, and that's the reason why the border was open. Okay. Donald Trump got right in there and closed the border. Facts. But the fact of the matter is, I asked this person, did you read the bill? Right? Because I'm getting into this stuff. And so when I hear stuff, like, my thing is, I still listen to these people like Roland Martin and Charlemagne the God and, all of these different people on that side who give their opinions on things, because, it's potential content. And on top of that, just want to hear their perspective. Some of the things they say I agree with. Most of it I don't. You know what I'm saying? But I asked this person, yo, did you read the bill? No, I ain't did you read the bill? Yes, I read the bill. I read it. Because that's what you do. When somebody makes a claim, you actually go and research it for yourself to see if what they're telling you is true or not. You know what I mean? And when you do that, you realize most of the things that these people tell you are lies. And this is the reason why for 60 years, the hood is still the hood. And everything around it is growing and becoming industrialized and modern and is beautiful and nice. And go to the hood been the same way. If not, it's worse. Like, seriously. Like, it's in some cases, in some places. Like, it's just sad, bro. We definitely got a lot of work to do, but it's doable, though. You know, a lot of people actually are waking up. I'm going to be honest. A lot of people are actually waking up to what's really going on. And that's why I believe that it's over for the Democrats, at least for now. But like I said before, bro, if there is somebody, when it comes to politics and going in office, I think at this point, no Democrat is going to ever get elected anymore without actually having a track record of doing things positive, not just for black people, but for all Americans, and actually, is moderate. Because most of these people now are just extreme. But anyway, I'm going to just play a little bit of this video of this interview. The only reason why I'm playing it is because this is an example of, that baby boomer generation. But just how delusional these people are, bro. They don't know anything. They just literally strictly is feelings and what they heard on MSNBC or CNN.
Now Trump is mobilizing the California National Guard.
Yeah, because he can't do the Oregon National Guard.
Right. And in the process of doing that, today said Portland is burning down to the ground. Okay, we're here. There's one block. There's how many people here? Like, I don't know.
Oh, before I keep going, shout out to James Klug. This is James Klug channel on YouTube. Put his link in the description too. Go check him out. So his main thing, I said this before. I showed this video. I showed one, maybe even two videos of his before. But he goes around interviewing mainly Democrat protesters and stuff like that. Basically to have he just be trying to have a civil argument, a debate, pretty much about what their signs say or what their opinion is on what's going on. So he's at one of these, I think, Antifa rallies or somewhere in Portland, and he's having this little interview.
100, 150?
Yeah, I think we could definitely chalk that one up to hyperbole. I think you and I would both agree on that one.
So why is the president doing that?
Why? Because he thinks Portland's a mess. That's his view.
He's going to mobilize.
There's been a demonstration
Guard.
Here for how many days? Riots, protests here
months.
for how many days? Months? There's a school that's fleeing, the storage over there. There's a school that left. The storage unit facility is not renewing a lease. It seems like it's affecting this area. I don't know. Is it crazy to say he wants it under control?
Yeah.
Why is that crazy?
Mobilizing the National Guard to bring people here, like in that kind of fashion, against American citizens. I mean, it's just insane.
Who says it's against the American citizens? When it comes to the National Guard, right, they're not going to be like out here or patrolling the streets and stuff. You have them coming to a federal facility. What's wrong with that in your view?
Well, why are people coming here?
What?
Why are people coming here?
You're with the group, but you'd have to tell me that one. But I would assume, if I were to answer your question, anti-ICE protest. That's what it's about. People are allowed to do that, obviously, right? We support the First Amendment. That's amazing. But when it comes down to, using federal agents, coming out here, making room for federal vehicles coming in and out, they're not supposed to be used for that, right?
I think we're missing the point. Is the reason people?
Oh, sorry, what am I missing? My bad.
The reason people are out here is because ICE has become.
Yo, he talking to a fucking retard.
Basically, the Gestapo.
He being nice about it though.
Gestapo.
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Because they're
hunting down Jews.
Now look, he said, "They're the modern day Gestapo." I wonder where he heard that at.
People off the street.
They have no ideas, bro.
And
what's their job?
They're detaining people without any semblance of due process.
Well, due process varies when it comes to immigration enforcement. It's not criminal, it's a civil proceeding, it's an administrative process. So there's different degrees of it, of course. It's not held to the same standard as
the president has
criminal.
tried to get these people out of the
But
country
hold on.
before they can get a hearing.
Hold on, what is ICE's job?
I mean, in my opinion,
What is it supposed to be? How about
should
that?
not exist.
What is it supposed to be? I shouldn't exist? No. Why
yeah.
is that? They do check-ins for unaccompanied minors, making sure that they're not sexually abused. They do all sorts of investigations. They do investigations on illegal gangs being in the country.
In its current form is a militarized police force that is being used against the people of this country.
Against the people? How so?
I mean,
To be saying anything.
Like citizens you're talking about?
We can go around and around. There we go. There's a nice.
What do you think about that? You like that?
I like that.
Let's
very
show
much.
that. Show the. There you go. All right, Eric, back here. So, well, hold on. ICE's job is to enforce immigration law, right? So when it comes down to it, you're
I
talking
ain't
about
gonna play
them,
this whole
taking up
video.
illegal immigrants. What's the
They're
problem with that?
They're not enforcing immigration law.
How are they not?
Because they are taking people without due process. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have a Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment applies to all persons.
It's so funny, man, because it's not even funny. It's just retarded. Because they love to use these things when it comes to Donald Trump. But when Barack Obama was the deporter in chief, nobody cared, nobody talked. That's the part that's frustrating for me when I see these types of videos, is that these people never, ever, never complain. You see it, bro. You see the double standard. You know, when Barack Obama, was doing some type of demolition, building something on the White House, everybody was, oh, check it out. Look what Obama's doing. Glazing him, sucking his dick, right? Literally, even before Obama, right? With him deporting a lot of immigrants, right? Over 4 million. Before that, every single Democrat, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, all of them, Bernie Sanders, literally every one of them agreed that illegal immigrants in the country is not a good thing. Literally, there is videos of them saying this. Like, so it's fake. That's the whole point of all this. And the problem is they manipulate people like this guy right here with this fucking bike helmet on. And it's people like him, like I'm not saying him specifically, but it's people like him who actually believe this dumb bullshit. And then they go and commit, acts like what happened to Charlie Kirk, right? And see, that's the problem with all of this, is they are causing this. And understand how dumb you are, that these people get to sit up on camera, lie to you, manipulate you, program you, MK Ultra you, and then you go and do the dirty work that they want you to do. How dumb could you be, bro? Listen, I gotta applaud them. They're intelligent for it. Never will I let any human on this earth manipulate me to the point of having me out here doing clown world shit. And then you're not even intelligent. You don't even know what you're out there for. This dude is literally repeating, no cap, bro. Everything that he has said so far has been all CNN talking points. That's it. The modern day Gestapo. They're walking around with masks on and they're just locking people up. Bro, listen, I'm from the hood. I done seen jump out. I done been raided. They not coming in there with handshakes. Talking about, hey man, come here, let me put your hands behind your back. No, they coming in there with big shit, masked up. Get the fuck on the ground. If I blow your shit off. That's how they coming. So this is how these people just don't understand. They don't get it. Like, they can't relate. They're dumb. Like, it's crazy. it's funny, like, and the thing is, like, this guy, James Klug, is being very sarcastic on the low, though. But he's really a nice dude, though. But he is being, like, sarcastic because he knows that he's talking to a fool. He knows. And the thing is that the reason why I watch him and the reason why I like him is because he actually is educated on these things that he speaks on. You know what I mean? For the most part. And if he doesn't know something, he just says, I don't know it. You know what I mean? Like, we gonna watch, like, a couple more, 3 more minutes of it. Then we gonna end the show.
So when Trump puts people and tries to get them on a plane out of the country to a country they are not from before a judge.
Just making up. That's a lie. That's a lie. Putting them on a plane to places where they're not from. No, he's not doing that. It's a lie, bro. It's just a lie. Like, literally, millions of immigrants are literally voluntarily leaving. And not only are they voluntarily leaving, they're doing that because Trump also is giving them a plane ticket to wherever they want to go, pretty much where they're from, and he's giving them some cash, USD. Like, what? What are you talking about? But if we have to come get you, yes, we're going to be a little rough with you. You know what I mean? If you make me run, you make me do all of this dumb shit, yes, it's going to be a problem. You might be, you might get a little dirty, my guy.
Kind of decision. You think that's a functioning democracy?
I think you're not understanding how much due process.
And they always say,
I'm
sorry, bro. They always say that. Do you think this is a functional? Bro, we don't live in a democracy, dog. What are you talking about? It's out. Anyway.
And I don't think you understand the administrative process of immigration enforcement. So basically, if people get collected at the southern border, there's zero due process. They're picked up, turned away. Now, when it comes to being inside the United States, there's expedited removal processes that have been here for less than 2 years, different degrees of due process. Is your biggest issue with the Alien Enemies Act? I'm just trying to throw you a bone to understand what you're saying here. Because you brought up the plane going over places. Are you talking about the Alien Enemies Act?
I'm talking about people who are not under the expedited removal. There's a lot of people who are being taken. I mean, look what happened in Chicago the other day. Just like, is that what we want in America?
What specifically are you talking about? Like people assaulting ICE agents?
Helicopters?
Ramming their cars into them?
Oh my God, I'm done.
Hey, yo.
Helicopters?
Hey, yo,
you're saying, that. Okay, no.
He said people ramming trucks into ICE. Yo, he funny, bro. Hey, yo, I like that.
If they're conducting
I like the dry sarcasm.
An immigration raid,
that shit is
what
funny.
is your problem with that when it comes
to apartment building is detained?
That Tren de Aragua, one of the most violent gangs in the United States, this is what the raid was for, right? It was frequented by Tren de Aragua gang members. If that is true, would you support the raid?
I suppose you thought like Haitians were eating dogs in Ohio.
Let's stay on track here.
It wasn't widespread, but there are several videos of it happening.
I don't know about that. When it comes down to it, though, are you pivoting and changing the subject because you don't want to address what I'm saying there?
No, because
so you want to stay on track with the topic
then? You're saying you're like really good at what you do in terms of being an agent provocateur.
This is a very consensual conversation
exactly. Here. Exactly, being real nice.
Question for you.
So I'm gonna end it right there. He going into a little commercial, but yo, listen, bro. Yo, shout out to him, man. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel. That's James Klug on YouTube. Link will be in the description. But that's the show for pretty much. But I wanted to only play that, like I said, because this is a lot of people that's out here protesting, doing all of this stuff. Like, it's for nothing. It's for nothing. This dude don't even know why he's out there. That's why most of the people that James Klug, for instance, some other people, man, I'm not real good with names. Remember names, especially if I don't watch him on a daily basis. But his name was just easy to remember. But there's other people that do stuff like what he does. But, bro, these people have no idea why they're there. They don't even know the things that they're talking about. And, yo, bro, Joe Biden, when he was in office, was doing so many things that he was, and crazy part, I don't even know why I say Joe Biden. I'm going to say everybody but Joe Biden and his administration was doing so many things because Joe Biden wasn't even there. He was just, they had to shoot him up with dope in order for him to even function. That's why I actually feel bad for the guy. You know what I mean? Because he basically got the, shitty end of the stick with everything. You know what I mean? They called it, it's sad, bro. But, bro, they literally ruined it. Gas was like $5. in New Jersey. Everything is so high. And it's because of Joe Biden and his administration. But people were not bitching. Nobody, even the people that I debate with and argue with, none of them were complaining. Not one of them. We never talked about any of this. They never complained. Shit was out of control. I was one of the few that was bitching. Yo, bro, why the fuck is shit so high? And I was already hip to the game a little, like, as far as just like, I'm like, yo, they're going to make stuff so high that when they actually bring it down, like gas, it was like almost $5 out here in New Jersey. Probably in California, it's probably damn near fucking 10. But out here, it was like almost $5, if not almost there. So if they bring it down to $2.50, which is still a little high, people are going to be like, great. I mean, at this point, I'm going to say great. But that goes for everything else too. Like everything is so high that once you bring it down a little bit, it's like, is it really cheaper? Nah, man. They manipulating everybody, bro. That's why I say, don't be a slave to the party, bro. This shit is way deeper than that, bro. Like, you think these people do not care about you, man. They don't care. And you know what's even more crazier? I think Donald Trump is one of the few that actually does care about the average American, bro. Like, I'm just being honest. And I'm saying that because I'm looking into everything that he's doing. I watched his whole campaign, his whole thing. A lot of it was repetitive. That's what they do. They go to each state. They, give people their game plan and what they plan on doing, right? But I watched it. It was the same thing. And when he got into office, he literally did every single thing he said he was going to do. Except for the Russia-Ukraine thing. But that's all of that. Even them wars, that's kind of like, he affects it, but it's kind of out of his hands a little bit. Excuse me, to be honest. Like, he really can't say, I don't know when it comes to the war thing. But it's not as simple as handling issues here in America. And all they're doing is trying to make things harder for him. But he got the last laugh because he's already on to it. He already 10 steps ahead of them. That's why every time they do something, he just sitting back. You don't even hear, only time you'll hear Trump really talk about the shutdown, for instance, is when he's asked about it. Other than that, he's worrying about other things because he got more important shit to worry about. He already made it clear. This is where we stand. We're not giving illegal immigrants shit. If you're able-bodied, your ass is going to work. You're going to be productive. You know what I'm saying? Like, he made his point clear. And that's that. And he's not even, and he's not the reason that the government is shut down. I said this and I'm going to say it again. The House and the Senate is majority Republican. But the only bills that get passed with just Republican votes is the bills that take 53 votes. The 60 vote bills and stuff like that, like the CR bill, it needs 60 votes, which means it also needs Democrats to hop on board. This is why they say we need, what do you say? We need 4 more or 5 more or something like that, Democrats to vote. I think it was 5 at the time. So, like, bro, they letting you know, listen, we all said yes to open the government. They all said no, except 3 Democrats. So, bro, it should get deep, though, man. But it just go to show you. But honestly, bro, the Democrats ain't doing nothing but making things worse for themselves, to be honest. Because people really, this is about to be real. Like, people are really about to be, like, fucked up. Like, no food in the fridge type shit. For this month, for a whole month. I don't know if they're gonna load people's shit up, in the middle of the month or something. I don't know how it's gonna go, but it's not looking good, bro. To be honest. And people should be mad, bro. But don't be mad at Donald Trump, bro. And I'm not just saying that because I voted for the man. I'm saying that because it's truly their fault. They said it. They literally said this is the only leverage we have. They're using you as leverage against Donald Trump. But it's not going to work. Because they voted yes. They want to keep the government open. It's the same exact CR bill they voted for in March. People got to wake up, bro. It's time to wake up, man. We got to start being more informed. We got to wake, like my guy Dave Money, shout out to him. Make sure you go check his channel out, Hood to Higher Learning. Go check his joint out, From Hood to Higher Living, on YouTube. And, make sure y'all give him a subscribe. He talk about refine, like he from the hood. We both from the hood. We from the same hood. And he talks about like just, refinement. Like, just because you from the hood don't mean you got to eat, chicken wings and fried rice. Like you can go dine at a fine restaurant, take care of yourself, be healthy, hook your crib up, make sure your crib is nice so you living in a nice space and things like that. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm on, bro. I'm on growth, man, and positivity, man. All that negative shit, y'all can have it, man. But, yo, that's the show for today, man. It's your boy, SL550. This is the Never Gonna Lose Again podcast. Make sure y'all like, share, comment. Also, hit that subscribe button. Listen, it costs you nothing. Yo, this your boy. Holla at y'all next time. I'm out. That ain't go. Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
a poor man prayers.
Every man bleeds,
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made